What's up, everyone? Recently saw Game 4 and Game 5. I just wanted to see uh, who was gonna get the upper hand, and apparently the Warriors, man, won back-to-back games against the Boston Celtics. This is something that hadn't been done by any NBA team in this whole season, and the Warriors right now are sitting pretty with a 3-2 lead, and they can potentially close this series out in Game 6. And in Game 6, the Boston Celtics look forward to at least forcing a Game 7 to keep their season hopes alive and also their title hopes alive. So, I mean, let's just talk about this game, man. Well, experience, that's number one thing for the Golden State Warriors. This is something that I saw when I was watching Game 4. I just saw a situation where there was no way the Warriors are going to go down 3-1. There's no way. I saw the way that they played uh, in previous finals. I mean, there's this situation where you can see like you need your best players to step up, like a Stephen Curry. He has been there, he's done that. He has won championships, with this Warriors squad. Not this iteration, but the previous iterations of the Warriors through the years. And apparently, championship experience really, really is a factor here. The Boston Celtics are first timers here. They have been to the finals. This is the first season they punched the ticket to the finals. So, but that's no excuse for you not for you not to show up in the finals. But looking at this series, the way it just panned out, you could see the Warriors in Game 4. They just put their foot down. They beat the Boston Celtics 107-97. At this point, the Boston Celtics just lost at their home floor, TD Garden. So moving into Chase, I was a bit, with cold feet in seeing a situation where the Boston Celtics were going to steal a win at the Warriors' home floor, but that wasn't the case because heading into Game 5, the ESPN guys released a graphic that was actually pretty asinine. They said the the Boston Celtics have a higher percentage of winning these NBA finals. But man, if you look back at what these guys had, the metrics that they had, they don't tell the whole story because you could see the Warriors right now, they are sitting pretty with a 3-2 lead and they can close out the series in Game 6, unless the Boston Celtics just force a Game 7. But looking back at these games, the games are just mainly decided in the second half, like the Golden State Warriors in Game 4. When I saw Game 4, I didn't get the chance to react to it at that time, but right now I'm just giving my 2 cents on it, just in passing. But you could see the Golden State Warriors just made sure to take the second half and just took over in the second half, and they won this game by 10 points. But heading into Game 5, it was just a back and forth. At this time, the Boston Celtics had their first lead it was like midway in the third. They tied it up and they moved up by a few points, like 5 points up. Then the Warriors just came in and just destroyed that lead that they had and just built up on it. And eventually in the fourth, the Warriors just kept on splashing their threes, and also Jordan Poole at the buzzer at the end of the third, he hit that. Um, it was like final seconds. Then he just hit that three from way downtown. He just hit it, and I feel like that was the nail. That's the spark that the Warriors needed just to take over this game, because heading into the fourth, the Warriors are just hitting all their shots, just went in. All their shots went in, and it was just crazy. Because when I look at this Game 5, there were a total of four lead changes, and two times the score was tied. And most of these things, the lead changes in the game was tied. It was happening in the second half. But you're looking back at Game 4, you can see there were 11 lead changes and 10 tied games. To 10 games, 10 times the game was tied. So I mean, it was something that I saw with the Warriors. They just did not want to lose, and I feel like the championship experience that they've had, it has definitely it has played a huge role in them being dominant right now. and more there's nothing more that they need to do other than just invoke Game Six Clay to just come in and do his thing in Game Six to close it out. But you're not counting out the Boston Celtics because they still have Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart. The reigning defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. So it's going to be a tough series for them Celtics because in an elimination game, win or go home, the Warriors are very good at what they do. They just know how to take a team apart, especially in an elimination game. So it's better the Boston Celtics just blow out the Golden State Warriors in Game Six in their TD Garden, and then force a Game Seven, which can go either way because Game Seven, it's the last game of the season, last game of the series. So it's better that they force a Game Seven. They have to pull a Memphis Grizzlies thing. They have to blow out the Warriors thoroughly. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, they have to combine for at least 70 to 75 points. Be able to wield the Boston Celtics to force a Game 7. That's what they need to do. But overall, it was a very entertaining series. I loved every minute of it. And looking back at what the Warriors have been able to do, I mean, it's just amazing. They were in the finals 2019. They lost to the Toronto Raptors. They were so injury riddled, but they were able to turn it around 3 years later, and they're now the NBA Finals, one win away from winning. And just to mention this in passing, the Warriors had a better record than the Boston Celtics in the regular season, 53 wins. The Boston Celtics only had 51 wins. So all in all, I'm looking forward to an entertaining series, entertaining Game Six, and potentially if there's gonna be a Game Seven, there should be because man, the best two words in life is in basketball is Game Seven. So the best thing that the Celtics need to do is find a way to force a Game Seven, and the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors, man, they can just pull not an upset, but they can just pull up, and just win that game easily. So, yeah, those are my 2 cents. I was excited. I watched this game today morning. The other game, in Game Four, I watched it Saturday morning, and I wasn't able to react to it. But now I just give my 2 cents on it, and also Game Five was actually pretty interesting. Andrew Wiggins, he came up clutch. I mean, he just did everything that he needed to do, and you could see the result. This guy, man, Andrew Wiggins just came out of nowhere and dropped 26 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and this is the type of production that the Warriors are getting. They have so many pieces to that can go off anytime. You've got Stephen Curry, you've got Klay Thompson, you've got Draymond Green, although Draymond Green hasn't been showing up in the scores but his presence on defense is undeniable. Then you have Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, got Gary Payton the second. So the Warriors have all the championship ingredients to win to win it all. And this game 5, Andrew Wiggins just came up clutch and did his thing. So just gearing up for Game six potentially can be the end of this NBA season, NBA Finals as they come to a close. But only if the Celtics lose. But if they win, you can force a Game Seven. It's going to be more exciting because I mean it's the final game. So yeah, I mean it's awesome. It's awesome. So I'm out, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next upload.